What's up, guys? So today I'm going to do just a short review on the Hybrid Racing BD shifter. I've had this piece now installed for over a few months, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a great piece. The quality is phenomenal. I only have one problem with it: the vibration and rattle that I get at high RPM and decel that comes through the shifter. I've been told by Hybrid Racing that this is totally normal due to the metal bushing in there, and with anything metal on metal there's going to be vibration, and I'm totally cool with that. The problem is that the vibration drives me nuts. Those little vibrations that I hear just don't sit with me well. That's not my style, and it bothers me, and I just don't get as much enjoyment out of the car that I want. So I need to come up with a plan B to resolve this. So I don't know if that's maybe switching out to a different shifter, like a K-tuned one. I believe those are using a really hard plastic bushing, or maybe just going back to stock. I would hate to have to go back to stock. I really love this piece. It shifts great. The feel is fantastic, but the rattling is a problem for me. I used to have the innovative street mounts on here initially when I did the swap, and those were way too stiff for me and caused way too much vibration, and I just did not enjoy driving the car. So something like this definitely bothers me when I drive it, and so I want to come up with a solution. I love the piece, it looks great, but that rattle has to go, or has to be maintained in some way. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is maybe revert back to the stock shifter plate, and with that I can use the shifter boot and cover up the area of the shifter, but also I'm thinking maybe insulate it with a few microfibers to see if it'll knock down the noise so it's very minimal. I'm going to see if I can capture some of this vibration here in just a second. It's usually on decel, so I'm going to accelerate. We'll see if we can get it. All right, so I think I've come up with a solution, and we'll see if it works. So what I'm going to do is I have removed the shifter boot and cover and the shifter plate, and I'm going to place these microfiber towels over the shifter to create some sound barrier and insulation. And then what I'll do is return back to the factory shifter boot and not run that anymore. Unfortunately, if this solves the problem or helps quite a bit, I'll just in the future end up getting maybe a Civic Type R one with the red stitching and call it good. So I wasn't a super fan of this. Looks great, but I didn't really care for seeing down through there and kind of seeing all of this. It's definitely not a K series shifter. I mean, that thing looks beautiful, so I don't feel like I'm losing much. I would still get to retain this if this works. So fingers are crossed. I'll place these over the shifter and install the boot and see if that seems to help. All right, so that's what it looks like, and I have it pressed down pretty far. I know the vibration's coming below this piece. I've taken off this this top section, and it still does it. So it's definitely in the bushing, so I'm hoping this helps. So I'm going to place the cover back on here and kind of work this in there and see what we get. So I'll fit it on down there and get back with you. All right, so that didn't go as planned. I'm still getting vibration, and I can feel it and hear it. It's muddled about 50%, but it's still there. So kind of back to the drawing board, and if it's going to be there regardless, I have two choices. Either I can ditch this shifter and go another route, or just live with it. Here's what it looked like installed, and it doesn't look too bad, actually. I think that looks okay. But I was unable to get it seated all the way on the top right here, so it's not as tight as it should be. It can kind of twist with enough force. What I would have to do is modify this somehow so it sits a little lower, allowing this to slide all the way down. So I don't want to cut the stock one up. So what I might do is for now just put it back and run the Circuit Hero plate here, and just deal with it for now until I can come up with another solution. I don't want to keep dumping hundreds of dollars into shifters. But maybe I'll research the K-tuned one and see if that's a better option. I know I can sell this and get most of my money back, or at least enough to cover that K-tuned shifter, hopefully. So I'm gonna take it all apart and put it back to the way it was with the Circuit Hero plate and go from there. So it is what it is. Just thought I'd give it a shot. I don't know if this helps anyone. Didn't help me, but all we can do is keep trying.